It's a pleasure to be here for the third year in a row. Before I start and talk about our project Unicoin, I just want to, show you what's going on in the crypto ICO market that many of you may not be aware of. I know everybody in here has a phone. If you Google this term, it's Binance tokens plunge. If you can Google that on your phone, click on news, and you're going to read an article that came out about six days ago that shows that 29 out of the last 30 tokens that have launched on Binance have failed. And not only have they failed, they've failed miserably. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. We feel that our business model for Unicoin addresses some of those issues. A lot of these tokens are decentralized. They don't have a business plan or a path forward to profitability like most businesses do. They rely heavily on community. So there's a lot of drawbacks to some of these programs, but some of these projects, but the biggest two things is they lack marketing and branding, which in any business is what's going to get you over the top and it's going to make you profitable. You know, after the first 10 or 15 coins, if you ask somebody outside of the industry or even in the industry, you might not even know what some of these coins do after the first 10. So just like any business in any industry, you have to have a profit plan. You have to have a management team that can operate the plan, and you can't just rely on community and venture capital to fund your project, which basically a lot of these projects raise, burn, raise, burn, raise, burn, and then disappear. So what Unicoin is doing to differentiate itself is we don't think crypto's dead. A lot of people think that crypto's dead because of FTX, the crypto winters. We believe that crypto in the next probably 10 years, the entire market's going to go from 2.5 trillion to over $20 trillion. Some analysts believe it may go even higher to 40 trillion. Bitcoin presently controls about half the market. They're going to continue to lose market share to other altcoins as the years progress. There's going to be second generation coins, good projects. So they're going to lose a little bit of market share. The question is, what company and what cryptocurrency is going to take the lion's share of that market that they presently own? And we think the way we're set up in crypto is that we're going to be able to take a chunk of that market share away from Bitcoin and other altcoins combined. If you look at any industry, for those of you who remember MySpace, they had the #1 community. No one even uses MySpace anymore. Community is very picky. They go from one project to another to another. The long-term viability of a lot of these projects are relying on community. And we believe that it's going to rely on factors which play a huge role in any business: profitability, plans, management, to be able to raise cash on your own, to be able to be self-sustainable. Same thing happens with some of these other second generation that replaced, like TikTok and Google. For those of you who are old enough, you'll remember the original search engines that everybody used to use. A couple of guys from California came up with Google and took over. Nobody uses Alta Vista anymore. Same thing's going to happen with a lot of these cryptocurrencies that don't have long-term viability. What Unicoin is doing, Unicoin is owned by Unicoin Inc. Unicoin Inc. has been able to swap pre-ICO Unicoins for real estate all over the world. We've currently have in escrow and in signed agreements over $3 billion worth of real estate that's in escrow. Once we launch later this year, that $3 billion goes on our balance sheet of Unicoin Inc. Unicoin Inc. is the gas or the fuel that's going to supply the marketing and the branding for Unicoin all over the world. We're going to spend over $2 billion in marketing and branding, and we're going to spend more money than all altcoins combined. You'll never see a commercial, or very hard pressed to see a commercial on television for a cryptocurrency. You'll see an ETF commercial, you might see an exchange commercial, you might go to the F1 Formula Racing, you'll see the main sponsors an exchange, but you won't see a cryptocurrency running a commercial because they're not set up to. There's no management team, there's no structure, there's no profit. Who's going to pay for the commercial? So they're relying heavily on community, conferences, word of mouth, when traditionally, if you want to build a brand and you want to have a brand that's a worldwide brand, you've got to spend the money and you have to have the funds to be able to do so. So we're gonna address some of the traditional issues that some of these coins have, like high volatility, high risk, lack of transparency, and illicit use. And I'll talk about lack of transparency. Our company, Unicoin Inc., who owns Unicoin, we have 5 years of audited financial statements on the SEC website, so you know who we are, you know what our financials look like, you can call us. We're not going to disappear overnight like some of these other coins where you don't know how much money they have available, if they even have reserves, you don't know who the owners are. Now, the blockchain has left the station, we all know that. It's here to stay. Like I mentioned earlier, our coin will be fueled by assets. Our management team, they're all over the age of 50. We're an older group that believes in business sense. We have a lot of experience. Experience matters. A lot of these projects are run by a lot of young guys who are very smart, but they don't have a lot of business acumen and stay in business for 10, 20, 30 years. They're more short-term oriented. They rely on VC money. VCs have a different time frame. They want to exit early than some of these founders. And there's a lot of good projects, but they're relying heavily on venture capital. These are some of the guys that are on our show. We also own a show. Unicoin Inc. owns Unicorn Hunters. It's similar to Shark Tank. The difference is when a company goes on Unicorn Hunters to raise money, we keep 5% equity stakes in all those companies. You can go on our website and see the companies that we've taken 5% equity stakes in these companies. We don't pay for it. They give it to us to be on the show. So unlike Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, where only the judges can invest in those companies, anybody watching in the audience can invest in those startup companies that are on our show. It's streamed all over the world. You can see it on some of the airlines. These are some of the judges on our show. We have Rosie Rios, who was President Obama's Treasury Secretary, Mo Vela, who was the former advisor to Joe Biden, and the big one is Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple Computers, on the show as well. So we have the real estate in escrow, over $3 billion as of today. We also have the assets that we own, the 5% equity stakes in some of those companies. So that's the pool of assets that we're growing before we list later on this year. We've also, like most traditional, right? Everybody hires influencers and media guys and YouTubers to promote their coin. We selected older NFL, NBA Hall of Famers to promote the show, not the coin, because there's been a lot of issues with the SEC, with entertainers, like, promoting the coins and getting in trouble and not disclosing that they're being paid. A lot of these ambassadors that we've hired, paid for with coins, no cash, they're going to be promoting the show, Unicorn Hunters. As a matter of fact, one of these guys, Chris Carter, was also on our board of directors. Chris is a Hall of Famer, former wide receiver. He was on the show Unicorn Hunters in the first season, and he was also a member of our rotating board of directors. Well, we also have a worldwide ambassador that many of you may know, Juan Pablo Montoya, who's a Triple Crown winner in racing, Formula One, as well as his son, who's an up-and-coming racer, who's also promoting our coin all over the world. We've got, if you go on our website, we've been covered by the press in a bunch of hundreds of different articles. You can go in on our website and read about them. Forbes, La Vanguardia, Millennial, CNBC, Real Estate, Yahoo Finance. You'll see that 2 of the real estate deals that we've signed that are in escrow, that eventually will go on our balance sheet, actually broke Bitcoin's record. Real estate for crypto. We own right now 2 of the largest deals. One was in Thailand, and the other one was a copper mine in Argentina as well. We're doing marketing all over the world, like I mentioned earlier. It's very hard for other coins and other projects to do this, because somebody's got to pay for it. And a lot of these projects don't have that cash to be able to do it. So who's gonna compete with Bitcoin? Bitcoin's well known all over the world. You go to Africa, anywhere all over the world, you say Bitcoin, everybody knows who it is. So who's gonna be their rival who's going to have the opportunity to match them one-to-one with marketing and branding? It's got to be a company that has profits, that's able to grow through acquisition. There's going to be a lot of M&A activity in the coin industry. There's going to be exchanges that buy each other or merge with each other. There's going to be blockchains that combine, because independently, a lot of these projects will not survive. We've been all over the world, from Bogota, Colombia to Abu Dhabi to Dubai, Consensus. We've been doing a lot of advertising all over the world, increasing our visibility. If you get on our website, you can see all the interviews, all the information. In New York City, we just started our worldwide marketing event. New York City is ground zero. And right now, you'll go and you'll see over 3,500 taxis that are displaying and providing Unicoin visibility. We've wrapped Uber cars with the Unicoin. If you go to New York City, you'll see LED signs. We're really the only cryptocurrency that's structured to be able to do this all over the world. And like I said earlier, once we put all those properties on our balance sheet, we can borrow against it, we can flip them. A lot of them are income producing. So we're going to continue to grow as we go along. And if you go to New York, you'll see all this from the last probably 2 months ago. You'll see buses as well. We also have a Unicoin store if you want to buy some merch. I'll shamelessly plug that. And the reason we're here is that we're offering all the attendees here the opportunity to buy our coin at our booth today at 75 cents prior to us listing later on this year. So if you go to our booth, you're able to register and lock in today's price at 75 cents. They'll give you 5 days to send in the funds. You can pay with crypto or you can pay with a wire transfer in 5 business days or less. And our booth is right behind the main stage right here. So just come up to them, you can let them know you're interested. And if you're interested in purchasing a coin, we'll go ahead and sell it to you prior to going public. In Mexico, we've bought the biggest, or an interest in one of the biggest clubs in Mexico. You'll see our Silvina Maschini, our CEO, our founder. And that's pretty much it. We want to thank you guys for listening, and just think about what I said with regards to other projects failing and why they fail, and think about what coins will make it to the finish line 10, 20, 30 years from now. It's going to be like a traditional stock. You got to have assets, you got to have profitability, cash flow, and a management team. That's just the way it is. So thank you, I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, I'll be at the booth.